Today on Game Rant, Splitgate 2 will be unlaunched. Supermassive Games is hit with huge layoffs, Doom's John Romero talks about Clair Obscur and the fall of AAA gaming, and more. Splitgate 2 will be unlaunched, and Splitgate 1 will be shut down amid the layoffs taking hold of 1047 Games, which have affected over 40 employees at the studio. While Splitgate 2 had a relatively strong beta presence, its full launch on June 6th saw a lot of backlash due to its expensive microtransactions, lack of compelling features, and controversial appearance at Summer Games Fest. None of this was helped by the launch of yet another lackluster Battle Royale mode, one which didn't do much to differentiate itself from others in the genre. On top of all that, the studio's strategy of calling out games like Apex and Call of Duty for being generic, and the studio lead wearing a Make FPS Great Again hat really turned off a lot of potential players. Austin Clark talks about this in his What Happened with Splitgate 2 video here on Game Rant, but suffice to say, the game lost a lot of goodwill. That's all come back to bite them now as 45 employees have been laid off, and the game seeks to go through a heavy rework before relaunching later down the line in 2026. All this also comes with the complete removal of Splitgate 1, although peer-to-peer matches seem to still be available for that title. But those aren't the only layoffs announced in the last day. Supermassive Games is also receiving a disappointing round of layoffs alongside a delay to their new sci-fi horror game Directive 8020, a Dark Pictures game. This isn't the first round of layoffs though, as this same studio had been hit by them back in February of 2024. All this comes after many studios ballooned up from the COVID spike in players and are now feeling the effects of that down tilt. At one point, Supermassive Games got up to around 350 employees, but that number continues to shrink. This layoff round saw 36 employees get cut from the studio, alongside the delay announcement of their next game in their anthology series, The Dark Pictures. Luckily for fans of Little Nightmares 3 is still slated to launch on its original October 10th, 2025 release date. In other news, Doom's John Romero recently said that games like Clair Obscur, Expedition 33 represent the future of the industry. On Deep Dive, Night Dive's developers interviewed John Romero, where he emphasized how much easier it is for developers to make games nowadays, while talking about the industry's shift to indie and AA studios. He talked about how AAA games with huge development teams and millions of dollars invested often turn out the same level of quality as small teams or solo developers who cost less and represent a much smaller risk.
The indie community is massive. If just go to itch if you want to see, like itch.io, if you want to see just like how many indies there are out there. How many games are released on Steam every month? Most of them are indie games. iOS, Android, like indie.
More developers are getting into the industry through these other venues, and more development teams working on small and medium-sized games means more competition for large titles competing for market share. It all comes up as what could be an end for AAA games as we know them. Okay, that was the big news, but time for our quick news blast. Borderlands 4 is getting a Switch 2 edition on October 3rd, a month after the game's September 12th release on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. We previously knew it wouldn't come to Switch at the same time as other consoles, but we didn't expect it to be such a rapid turnaround. In other AAA shooter news, Battlefield 6's release date is reportedly scheduled for October 10th. Hype around the title has been soaring to an all-time high, and with a trailer coming tomorrow, fans are excited for what's in store. Cyberpunk 2077's Songbird figure has been detailed in a Game Rant exclusive feature, which can be found down below. It comes from Dark Horse Comics, a notable merchandise creator in the gaming scene. Also, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers reviews are in, and they're fine, sitting at a score of 77 on OpenCritic, with 76% of critics recommending the game. We'll have a full review roundup of this tomorrow here on the channel, so look forward to that. Finally, IGN has reported that Outer Worlds 2 will not be $80 as previously announced. Rather, the title will be priced at the industry standard $70, going back on what they had previously planned. Customers who pre-ordered at that $80 price tag will be reimbursed their $10. So that was all the news for today, July 23rd. If you're looking for more here on Game Rant to watch, linked below are the 8 easiest RPGs to 100% complete, so go check that out. And for everything else, keep it right here at Game Rant.